what we've done so far, but I want to start the next. Thank you. I want to start the next section here by introducing who we have up on stage with us tonight, because some of you might have noticed one or two different faces. First, I'd like to start by introducing the gentleman on my right. Comes up here every year, all the way from Washington, D.C. He's a gentleman who 45 years ago this month, wow, started a group that he called the Shades of Grey in Washington, D.C. Then in 1970, he moved to Michigan, and that's where he recruited a couple other guys, and they continued the Shades of Grey. Could you show the picture? I want to show you what the 1970 group of the Shades of Grey looked like.
A lot of hair there.
Okay. Now, this gentleman in the middle, this is an absolutely true story. He'd been away from home for a couple of years. His father didn't recognize him when his car broke down. And as he was trying to hitchhike here to Coldwater, his father passed him. And this is a true story. Later, got to the house and said, you know, Jim, this long-haired hippie-looking guy was hitchhiking on the highway and looking like a ride. I wasn't about to pick him up. And that's when Jim said, Dad, that was me.
Hey, I never forgave him for that.
But the man who started it all 45 years ago with a dream that he had of combining black music, white music, and all kinds of music together, all the way from Washington, D.C., Mr. Chris Edwards.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce this gentleman here, who is, if those of you that were here 2 years ago noticed that we had a bass player that didn't have any hair. And now we have a bass player who has nice hair, okay? We found out that Hank Horton, our normal bass player, who was with us for years, couldn't make it this week. And Jim was able to find a gentleman here who is an excellent bass player. I call him the best bass player in Branch County. And he was nice enough to consent to sit in with us this week. Him and his lovely wife, Nora, Mr. Pete Fair. That's wonderful. Thank you, Pete. I want to thank you for the rest of the group here. Okay? Tom is wearing, the next gentleman that I'm introducing, he's wearing something on his head, because those of you that were here the last few years said, wait a minute, I thought that organ player didn't have any hair. Well, Chris bought him some. And now, as long as he has the visor on, he has hair. He's also one of the most romantic men I've ever met in my life, okay? He tried to help me through several of my marriage failures, and I wish I'd listened to him. Let me give you a great idea of what I mean by the most romantic. He and his lovely wife, Rhonda, have been married for 34 years. Beautiful. And I asked Tom, I said, what are you going to do? Anything special for your 34th anniversary? He said, yes, I have something very special planned. I'm putting a trip together, and I'm taking Rhonda to China. And I thought, oh, that's beautiful. Then he said, yes, and on the 35th anniversary, I'm going to go to China and pick her up. Ladies and gentlemen, on keyboards from Lansing, Michigan, Mr. Tom Puyear. The pride of Battle Creek Central. Yes. See? Was he really the president of the booster club, the president of the football team, or captain of the football team? Really? That's great. And Harry Truman asked him to run as his vice presidential candidate, but he turned him down in 4 years. Okay, you'd swear to it? Okay. This next gentleman here is a veteran of the United States Navy, as you can tell by wearing his hat. He is also from right here in Coldwater. And his wonderful mother is here, who baked us some wonderful cookies that we got today. Thank you very much. And Jim is probably one of my favorite vocalists in the whole world. And he's still known in some islands of the Pacific from his Navy days, from his very popular nickname, Yoo-Hoo Sailor, Mr. Jon Voss. And now that brings me to the member that for the last few years we've been calling the Shades of Grey, the generation. And as you recall, a couple of years ago, we sent out little cards with his phone number on them. Well, I know Dave does this to me all the time, which is why that's the last time you will hear me refer to him as Dave. Peter, you want to cut that off there? Thank you. Thanks, Ron. Tomorrow. Appreciate it. This young gentleman, if you recall, if you were here last year, the year before, we've been trying desperately to get him a date. Okay? Well, I'm here to let you know all of our efforts have worked out. So if you still have any of those index cards where I passed out his phone number, bring them, just pass them up front. He no longer needs them. He found the woman of his dreams, and he's getting married this Saturday to this wonderful lady in the front row. Shades of Gray, the next generation, J-Dog Johnny Voss. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, and if you don't act right tonight, me and Tom are going to show up. Just so you know. We want to send this next song out. Huh? Who am I? I'm Jeff. He's Jeff. How many didn't know I was Jeff? Okay, for those of you raising your hand, I'm from Battle Creek, Michigan. I coach football at Battle Creek Central, and I happen to be Mr. Jeff McGinnis.
Hey, Jeff.
Yes.
Does your team come to Coldwater?
We lost last year.
Only to get beaten.
Oh, sorry.
We lost last year, so. And I also want to mention, I mentioned this a little earlier, there's several people here there's several ladies over there, 3 of them, and years ago, seriously, this is all, they heard a group that was playing at a place where they worked called Mr. Ed's in Midland, Michigan, and I was working summer in Battle Creek, and they called me and said, Jeff, you have got to come up to Midland this weekend and hear this group. So the people responsible for me even meeting the group, the Shades of Gray, are all over there, and I want to personally thank them. And they are Lana, Sally, Kathy, Joe, and Dennis, all from Mr. Ed's. And where's Rex? Rex is here somewhere too. Okay, all from the old Mr. Ed days when we first started. Oh, it was beautiful. When they had long hair and I had black hair. Okay? Now I want to send this one out to them, and I want to send it to Teresa from the Whiskey and Water in Michigan Center, who used to be one of the nicest people we ever met. And if you feel like getting up and dancing, I think there's enough room up in here in the front. Just feel free to let loose, okay? A little something. Are you done there, Rob? No. Okay. Little something by Wilson Pickett.
When there's no one else around, I'm gonna take you
to the